be able to make this video because I did not think this would happen. I got an arc of my most anticipated book of the year, and I thought I would take you on a reading vlog journey. Oh my god, it's Babel! Oh, it's so pretty. I was so excited. So, it showed up at work, and I've been hoping it would show up at work because sometimes we get really good fantasy arcs. You know, I got She Who Became the Sun, Ordinary Monsters through work. I was really hoping it would come and crossing my fingers, but it was getting closer and closer to release date, and I was like, you know what, it's probably not going to come. If I really want it, I should contact the publisher. And I was like, I might do that, but maybe I'll just wait for release. But it came. Oh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I actually did start it already. I did, but I'm gonna take you with me. This will be spoiler free. It's here. It's here. I don't 100% know what it's about, and I don't care because this is what hooked me. From award-winning author R.F. Kuang comes Babel, a thematic response to The Secret History and a tonal retort to Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell that grapples with student revolutions, colonial resistance, and the use of language and translation as the dominating tool of the British Empire. I don't need no plot. It already sounds amazing. Sounds like it's gonna be just like one of the best books I will probably read in the next 5 years. This is my assumption. Please don't let me down. Oh my god. And like, look at this cover. Oh, it's so pretty. It's gorgeous. And there's footnotes. There's like little footnotes throughout. Not like as crazy as like some books with footnotes, but there are footnotes. Oh, okay. It's happening. It's happening. I just passed the halfway point on the book, and I realized I haven't really talked to you guys about the book, so I'm sorry about that. Part of it is because I just haven't had time. Work has been a lot. It's always a lot, right? But right now we're running on basically a skeleton crew, and the stress is eating away at me more than I expected it would be. I didn't think the stress was gonna be getting to me this much because we've definitely done skeleton crew before. But I'll be at work and I'll be the only manager there for 4.5, 5 hours, and I'll have 2 other people on the floor, a cashier and then 1 other person with me, and then someone in receiving, and then someone in cafe. And that sounds like a lot of people, but it's really not. And it has been freezing my brain. I'll do these harried half shifts, and then someone else will be there. And rather than then continuing on being productive, my brain just kind of stops. And I can't.
and it's been really not great. It's also been, the stress has been messing up my sleeping. I feel like I haven't had a decent night's sleep in a while. I do have vacation coming up at the end of next month. I just have to make it that far. That being said, I have been reading. I've been reading a lot, actually. I am about, actually not even halfway. I'm almost halfway. This is day 7 of reading Babel. And if you've been on my channel for a bit, you know that my goal is like 1 book every 10 days. I do think I'm gonna hit that. I really do believe that. I have Sunday and Monday off, and I think Monday will be the 10th day. So I think I'll hit that exactly. But I'm halfway. I haven't really talked to you. Besides stress, there really hasn't been much except reading. I'm really enjoying it. I have not read anything by R.F. Kuang before. I do have the Poppy War trilogy. I just haven't read it. I definitely want to. I've wanted to for ages. But I definitely want to do it sooner than later, especially because I'm enjoying this so much and I am enjoying the writing so much. It's one of those books that feels very along for the ride. So I don't really care about like where it's like, I can guess where it's going, but I don't really care where it's going because I'm just enjoying every moment of reading it, and the experience of reading it is really great. It definitely has those dark academic vibes. I will say it took until about their 2nd year at Oxford for that to set in completely. Year 1 low-key felt like Secret History rip off a little bit. I don't mean that in necessarily a bad way, just like it hadn't found its own niche or voice with these characters. But by year 2, I think it has done a really good job creating this dynamic, which is definitely different and unique. I have some theories about certain characters, which I'm pretty sure I'm right. The book is not a tricksy book. Dark academia books, I love them. But I feel like a lot of them, at least that I've read, don't actually talk a lot in a academic voice. This book spends a lot of time like telling you as if you're in a class about concepts, and it's so interesting to me. I am in love with the way Kuang writes these like theoretical lectures on silverworking and etymology and translation. It is so interesting, and I feel like I've learned quite a lot, and translation seems like a really interesting career path. Not for me, just like in general. And I'm just really loving that. I think it's so cool and well written, and it's info dumpy, but in a way that feels so in world. I love it. There are also, what are they called? Footnotes. Footnotes! Couldn't think of it. See, there's footnotes. They're not on every page. There's a couple every chapter. Some of them I find really interesting and useful. Others I'm like, why did you footnote this? Sometimes there'll be Chinese characters in the footnote, and then other times they're just bracketed in the text. So I don't really know what the distinguish between like footnoted and bracketed really is, and that like things like that just kind of annoy me, but not enough to like take me out of the story. Just be like, okay, but why do something different here? The footnotes are probably the most contentious point for me, because I feel like the voice in the footnotes is really restrained. Maybe it's just because the two books that I can really say have really distinct cool footnotes are Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and the Nevernight trilogy by J. Kristoff. And both of those have really distinct voices in their footnotes, and the footnotes writer feels like they have a personality. This book is kind of lacking that. There are moments, especially in the longer footnotes, where I feel like there is a character and personality coming through, but for the most part, they are just lacking some sort of connection. They're not going far enough for me. So really, the footnotes are probably the biggest point of contention. And in the earlier parts of the book, I do think there are some moments where in general the narration does feel really constrained and like it's not going far enough or as far as it wants to go. It doesn't make it a bad book or a poorly written book, and I don't think it's really enough to be like, oh, you know, you have to get through this, you have to get through to like page 200 for it to be good. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I just noticed with the tone of the writing, there's this really held back voice that really is coming through the further I get into the book. There are moments where I'm like, I don't know what's actual history and what's being altered for the story. I know like the broad strokes are accurate, but there's like little moments where I'm like, oh, was that real? Like, is that real, or is that a thing because of what the world of this book dictates? So I would love to perhaps another read through go and try to like look that up as I go. There have been a couple moments where I've like Googled things and I'm like, it's real, but not necessarily in this exact way, which is kind of, especially with translation, which is kind of cool. For as much as I'm loving this book, I really feel like I don't have much to say about it. At least right now. Partly I think it's stress. The stress has just, I think, shut the part of my brain down that does a lot of hard thinking. It has been a really good book to escape into. It's very immersive. And it's also given me like Magician vibes. So if you like those books, you probably really like this one. But work needs to, and it won't get its act together for a while, but it needs to get its act together so that I can go back to actually saying things and words that make sense. I have so much I could say about this book. And I have had so many thoughts in the last like 24 hours while reading it. But I'm like still processing some of the events that just happened. I just finished part 3. I was so anxious about these characters. My anxiety for them is so high right now. It's good. It's really good. My mind, poof. But, I think, wow, I'm still processing. And I was at work when I finished part 3. I wish I had been home to just, like, react. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. It's so good. It's so good.
good. That's cool.
That's cool.
That scared me. She's not an animal person. I have less than 100 pages left. I haven't been this nervous to finish a book in a very long time. I'm excited because I'm enjoying it and I want to keep reading. But I'm so nervous to see how it ends. And I might read some more tonight. I might not. I don't know if I don't know if I have the courage to say goodbye tonight. Yeah. I'm almost done. I'm just about done. And I have so many emotions going through me. I think number one is like still stress because I have no idea how it's going to end. I think it's safe to say that it's definitely a 5-star book. And I think it's really going to be a book that shakes up a lot of readers. It's shaken me a little bit. Like in like a good, you have to confront yourself way. But I wanted to, before I finish it, because I'm going to sit out here for a bit and finish it, because Tank seemed like he wanted to be out here. Yeah, I'll give some final thoughts, obviously, but I definitely, I'll be doing reviews, so you can look for that too. But wow, so close. I don't know if I'm going to keep this in the vlog, but I have 10 pages left. And I'm already starting to like cry. So, let's finish. I finished Babel yesterday, and I am still emotionally reeling from this book. I have not been so emotionally affected like that in a very long time. Not 2 years probably, but the last one I can remember making me just like echo with this book. The last book that like echoed in me for so long, I think, was maybe A Little Life. I want to say there was probably something in between this and that, but I'm not thinking about it. But Babel was so good. It has its faults. It's not a perfect novel, but in every way that matters, it is phenomenal. It is fantastic. It sticks with you so hard. I don't think I'm gonna like shrug this one off. I think I'm gonna be thinking about it for probably years, and I'm so excited for other people to read it. I definitely think it's gonna divide some people. I think there are some parts that I think in general, regardless of what the novel is as a whole, people won't like. There's a lot of info dumping. It's necessary. It's very dark academia. They come across as lectures, but I could definitely see some people disliking it and some people disliking the magic system. This being qualified as a fantasy, while accurate, I think would better be suited to calling it literature with like a speculative element. So people who are big fantasy fans are probably not going to find themselves gravitating to this as a fantasy, because it's such a, like, the magic is such a light element to it. But 5 stars. Five stars. This one is one of the best books I've probably read in the last 10 years. I will be doing full review, both a non-spoiler and a spoiler one. Expect the spoiler one to drop probably on release day or release week of this book coming out, because I don't want to talk about the spoilers until people have had time to read it. The non-spoiler review will come a lot sooner. I have to sit down and write about it though, and think about it in even more depth. And right now I think I'm a little emotionally high on it, and I need to kind of come down a bit. But that is it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like this content and you want to see more, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And if you're already subscribed and you watched this, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to me that you are here, that you are listening to me. If you are somewhere cold, I hope you're staying warm. If you're somewhere warm, I hope you're staying comfortable. Most of all, I hope you're reading a great book. I will see you guys next time. Bye!